Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. It's good to have you with us for this week's Explore Tulsa.
I'm so excited. Halloween is just around the corner.
Have you decided what you're going to be yet?
Well, at first I thought I'd go with like a Heisenberg, from Breaking Bad, but I'm not so crazy about shaving my head part.
Yeah, I don't think the Charlie Brown look would work for you.
So I'm probably going to go with being a Walking Dead zombie.
Good idea. Go with what suits you best. And we should start our trick-or-treat on West Charles Page Boulevard at the Cave House.
You can sit right here. That's the thing about the Cave House, is when people talk about it being haunted or things that happen here, you can sit still and just scare yourself because it's round. The acoustics are, unique, and then it's being stucco. And so a noise can happen upstairs, like a stick can fall on like the metal roof upstairs, and you really think someone's behind you. You could just creep yourself out even if you're locked in here alone, but it's a lot of fun. I'm Linda Collier, also known as the Cave Woman, and I actually found the place, it was in the paper that it was for sale. They were highlighting it as a landmark. And so I just wanted to see inside because I had always passed it as a kid and wondered about it, was totally intrigued with it. And it was just always so dark and creepy, but it was so original and had so much character that I was just always curious. But actually not till I bought it did I start hearing all the stories and all the history of it. It was actually designed by Daniel Eichenfeld. He was Charles Page's personal architect and built Holy Family downtown and some wonderful churches around the world. And so he was the architect. He actually owned the land. But those two men started building this restaurant. And from what I understand, in the 20s, anytime during Prohibition, when you would go down a major road, you would always see chicken coops and chicken restaurants. Well, that's because you could get alcohol there. So it was during Prohibition, so clearly this became a chicken restaurant, had some amazing fried chicken and some wonderful pies. There was a couple named Bill and Ella Walker, and Ella was known as the Rag Woman, and she went around town with a shopping cart. They called her the Rag Woman because she would get fabric out of the trash, like old clothes, and she would remake them. She would make people clothing out of them. But she and her husband actually are who built on the square part that doesn't really go with this rounded part. But they had it, I guess, for about 30 years, and she actually passed away here. But there's all kinds of stories. Like I had some rags that kept appearing at a window upstairs, and didn't really understand it and couldn't figure it out, and it sounded really crazy. But someone stopped right before I started giving tours and told me that Ella used to wash out the fabric and hang them at the windows up there to dry, like I had seen them come over here and seen them. So she was evidently helping me decorate over here. And you can't deny it. I mean, people are here when things happen. And the first few years when really weird things would happen, like the rags at the windows, I would tell my friends, don't tell anybody. They already think I'm kooky. Don't tell anybody those stories. But things will get moved. There was a period of time where so many little things like that were happening that I really thought some of my friends that also had keys might be just trying to give me a good story or pranking me. And so I confiscated all the keys. And still things happen. So I've always collected keys, and people would poke their head in, oh, you know about the key woman, and when they'd see my keys. And so finally I said, what about the key woman? She was a little woman that dressed like a man, rode a bicycle, and she always kept her hair very, very short. And they said that all along here at the businesses that used to be here, that if you dropped your key or you put your keys down, you'd pretty much have to fight her for them because she really liked keys. And so she had two great big key rings, one on either side. And you could kind of hear her when she was riding her bike down the road, so people knew to grab their keys. But we have episodes where people's keys disappear to be found later, a lot of times at the side of the hill, or sometimes just somewhere right where they left them originally, but then we couldn't find them for a while. Right now I've been giving evening tours because the evenings, it's just a whole new world over here. You can come in the daytime and fall in love with it already, but when you come back at night with the different lights and the candles and stuff, it's just a whole new world.